used to doing, because they're used to having probably a team of experienced.
Stats, are you there, Stats?
Yes, sir, I am.
Stats, I have a question. My question is, where are we seeing the actual choices? The choices for who picks what?
In terms of, so the maps are predetermined. So today it's the rotation for round 1 is Northern Waters, North, and Sleeping Giant.
Northern Waters, North, and Sleeping Giant. Okay.
Yeah, it's all predetermined.
I'm looking around for that.
It's in the rules. It's also been posted in I think the streamer announcements channel or the streamers channel. Okay. Yeah, the
streamer announcements channel.
Look in streamers at 32 minutes past the hour.
I gotta be honest. I've never been good at finding navigating a Discord where
when you've done 5 King of the Seas, you get really, really good at, oh crap, where was that thing that someone posted yesterday?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Discord is like the worst platform you can possibly imagine for information management.
It is. I always ask people, it's like, look, whenever there are links that are like evergreen links that need to never change or they're never going to change, can we just put them in one Discord channel that says links and nobody posts it, so it's one page? Like you don't have to scroll.
Exactly. It drives me crazy.
I feel like that's an anathema.
Yeah.
Although I will say, Team League is set up pretty well.
It is very well run. I mean, the guys who run this are very experienced with other tournaments as well. So it generally goes pretty smoothly. You know, a lot of the casters are used to doing things like King of the Sea and Classic and things like that. And so everyone's pretty experienced, which makes things generally go quite smoothly.
Sure. Yeah.
There is the random factor of some of these players haven't done tournaments before.
True. So that's the kind of fun thing about Team League is that each team gets a variety of skill and experience.
So I was just talking to my chat about this. The mixture of skill is quite a challenge for the team leaders, because generally the team leaders are, not all of them, but most of them are experienced tournament players. And they'll be used to playing with a team of people that they know, that they've practiced with a lot.
Right.
And of course, they're being given a group of more or less complete strangers.
That's right.
And that's a challenge. That's a challenge because you're not familiar with the way that people play. And if it's your team, you can say like, hey, can you just go and get the C cap? And you know that they know what to do.
Yeah. You know what's so funny about that is that the team that ended up coming together to represent me, they're all regulars of the NA competitive scene. So they may not have played together, but they all know each other's clans and they all sort of know each other to a certain degree. So I am interested. They've been practicing this week. We'll see how it goes.
Cool.
But for those of you who don't realize, StatsBloke is in my ears, by the way. We're going to be co-casting this one. So I think the first match has started. Let's giddy up.
Okay, so first map is going to be Northern Waters. Would you like to tell us what your team has brought?
I would love to. My team, Team BOGGZ Champ, being represented by Synpax, my former podcast co-host, bringing a Kremlin, Des Moines, Napoli, Moskva, Nevsky, Daring, Shimakaze. Definitely looking to make use of the very strong armor of the Napoli, the very high utility, really, really tight, close-in fighting capabilities of that Napoli. What about you?
So we are running a Kremlin. We've got double Napoli, Moskva, and Nevsky, a Ragnar, and a Yu-Yang. So it's reasonably similar. There's a few little differences there. But again, we are going to be relying on the tankiness and the close range accuracy, the aggression of that Kremlin, with the ability of the Napoli to get pretty close. It's got pretty good detection. It's got long range, slow torpedoes that tend to catch people out. And then we've got the radars of the Nevsky and the Ragnar. I actually don't know whether my team is running smoke on that Yu-Yang or whether they're running radar. I think because it's going with the Nevsky, it's probably a smoke Yu-Yang.
I would think so too. Yeah, I don't have the mod to show what they are actually running, but I suspect that we're going to see a lot of Kremlins in this tournament. I suspect we're going to see a lot of Napolis, and I also suspect we'll see a lot of Ragnars. I'm liking the Yu-Yang and the Daring and the Shima just because it's unusual. Looks to me like the Shimakaze of Chukwama from Team BOGGZ Champ. Going to take an early push into the center here. However, unlike COTS, there is no cap in the center. This is a clan battle style cap setup. So we'll see if he's just going to try and apply early torpedo pressure or whether he's going to try put himself into a position to back Cap C at a later time. I guess we're just going to have to see where he goes.
Yeah, the flanks on this cap setup are kind of different to King of the Sea, because you have to, obviously you're going to get your home cap, and then you have to make the decision, okay, do we push the home cap side, or do we push the contested cap side? And the initial deployment is almost random. You know, my team has gone for the home cap side on the heavy. Your team has split a little bit more evenly.
Yes, so what it looks like to me is it looks like Team BOGGZ definitely going to be making a play for the contested cap. I expect to sort of see some kiting action going on at the B cap. Napoli, Nevsky, very effective kiters at preventing things from pushing into you. Plus a wall of Shimakaze torpedoes also very, very strong at blunting a push, especially by something big and fat like a Kremlin. So we'll see if Team BOGGZ can actually push through A fast enough to make use of the fact that they're committing a lot of resources over to it, and hope the B flank can actually stay solid.
So Boggzy, I want to tell you how I'm feeling. I'm pretty excited about this Yu-Yang smoke here. I've got to make you understand that there's some torps going out towards Oxymoron's Des Moines here.
I can hear the excitement in your voice, Stan.
So yeah, I don't think that the Des Moines is actually going to be in danger. I think any sensible cruiser player is going to stop just before the corner, just in case the torp's coming. So I'm actually also running a new mod, which you might see some of the casters running, which enables you to see the consumables on both teams' ships.
I'm interested in this. I've been hearing people talk about it. How are you liking it?
It's amazing. And this is my first time casting with it, obviously, but I've been playing with it a little bit.
Sure, yeah. Do the consumables show up as like an icon above the
yes.
ship itself? Or
yes.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
So, for example, I can tell that Oxymoron has not yet used a radar. There's nothing on cooldown. Everything is available, which I couldn't tell before. So that's really cool. I can tell that my Nevsky is currently using a hydro. The Yu-Yang is currently using a speed boost. It's really cool.
Love this. I love this idea. I hope that this becomes standard for things like COTS as well.
Absolutely agree. Yep.
Good. Well, looks like we're getting some early pressure over here already. The Moskva of Black Mamba from EU, he's actually going to be pushing up into that very strong position there that prevents a push, where the Moskva sort of sits on the edge of that island but can't get his guns north. So what I'm interested to see is if these guys make their push, if they can do it fast enough, as it looks like Synpax in the daring over here about to take the A cap, unless Mickey's Nevsky can. There goes the radar right there. Let's see. He's going to spot Synpax. Synpax is going to have to step back a little bit from the cap, but he's not going to be pushed back forever. I think that Team BOGGZ going to get A relatively soon in short order here, as they push their Kremlin all the way up aggressively to the E1 island.
Yeah, so my team here on this weak flank, on the A flank, all they've got to do is delay. So they've just got to stop Synpax from actually capping. Because meanwhile, of course, the heavy flank is going to be pushing. I think your team has actually worked out that's what's going on, because they have started to kite away from the B cap. So they need to start pushing this A cap really hard now to counter the push on the other side.
That's right. Synpax deciding to go ahead and weather the radar. He did not actually attempt to get out of the cap, and he is very successfully being blind fired by Team StatsBloke, which is Rick Roll as they do.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it, Boggzy. Yes.
I mean, I knew the rules.
So did I.
Did you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were going to say it, and so did I. But I should have had faith. I'm sorry, Stats. I had no faith.
I'm never going to tell a lie and hurt you.
Anyway, you know.
So your team is making a push through. Sorry, I promised my chat that I would subtly drop lyrics in and see how long it takes for the other caster to notice.
You're not messing with no fool right now.
You were pretty quick.
Or maybe the perfect kind of fool.
Between the matches, I'll tell you why we're called Rick.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a story behind it. So Yu-Yang, Rocket Master for Team Rick, is throwing deep water torpedoes back through the camp. Of course, they will not be able to hit the Daring, but they are a threat to the Kremlin.
who is
But
now pulling out in front of those torpedoes, full broadside. Let's see if Wolfman knows they're coming or if he can get past fast enough. I think if
yeah,
he, oh my God, those are quick.
yeah, Daring does have Hydro running, but obviously it's only a 3/3 Hydro. So I'm not sure whether they would have had range to spot those. I guess the fact that
Uh,
Wolfman is going so fast in a straight line means that they are spotted. That's going to be close.
Yep, he did it. Well done, Wolfman. Looking over here, loses in ops very quickly, making his hard push in his Kremlin, but he is stopped, in fact, by those Shimikazes. Both teams using these heavy-hitting torpedoes from the Shima and the Yu Yang. Great effect to throw off the two Kremlins, which just love to eat big fat torpedoes from little tiny destroyers. So one into the nose of the Kremlin, but loses in ops, is now on his way back as the Des Moines of Oxymoron from Team Boggz making his way back to help blunt the push at B.
So Kremlin is running through a heel here, but that's going to get mostly absorbed by this incoming fire from the Nevsky, as well as the Des Moines and the Napoli as well. So that Kremlin is going to be suffering for sure. Ragnar is going to push the cap a little bit, I think, which is dangerous to Chukwama's Shimakaze.
Very much so, yeah. You guys will notice over here, Manko Pros, he's from Clan BN in the NA server. His Napoli doing a very, very good job of being essentially the flank to himself. The Napoli so strong in its ability to shrug off HE damage, as well as reposition, maneuver, and really, really put out DPM at close range. The Napoli has that smoke, the sort of the smoke bomb as we call it. So he is doing a good job of only giving ground when necessary, but Team Rickroll pushing very, very hard into B. It's about a 100-point differential right now. It can still go either way. Both teams still without a ship loss.
Yeah, I've actually been playing the Napoli in my clan's clan battles this season. And that position is classic for a Napoli. Open water, off on the side, where the team has to either choose to rotate their guns to shoot you or ignore you.
So difficult to dislodge a Napoli from a flank.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised that Team Boggz didn't bring two, but I think they chose to bring a DM instead. Big shots coming out from the Nevsky and the Moskva into Des Moines, the Des Moines of Oxymoron. I think those shells are a little too far for AP from the Nevsky, but Des Moines now getting himself locked into a position here as the Rag about to step on the B cap. Team Boggzy now no longer Team Boggz not making a threat from A to C. They've chosen to rotate both the Kremlin and the Des Moines back over to the B cap, which means they must retake the B cap if they lose it, or just not lose it at all, I suppose. But if that Ragnar can get a firm grip and take it, it's going to be very, very difficult for Team Boggz to take it back.
I think your team's focus at the moment is to try to get the Kremlin of Losers and Ops down, because that would be a massive win if they could remove that threat. That Kremlin has a lot of command presence, but my team is focusing Oxymoron's Des Moines. There it goes. A little panic
Down
radar
goes
at the end
Oxy.
Now that's going to make life considerably easier for Mantiscore's Ragnar.
Certainly is. No more radar threat behind the island.
Who I can see has just run DCP. Amazing, this consumable mod. Ragnar also running a speed boost here as he backs into the cap. Chukwama's going to have to be very careful. Is the radar available? Radar is off cooldown in about 15 seconds for the Ragnar.
Yep. Both Napolis from Team Rickroll also. Look at how far up they've pushed. They've done a great job, as well as they're going to get the Napoli of Manko Pro at some point. I would call it a ticking clock. Does the Rag get the cap is the big question. He does!
I'd like to say that One Soul Gamer in your Nevsky is never going to say goodbye, but I've got he just took a massive smack from something.
Yes, he did.
So, actually, your Kremlin is still really healthy.
The Kremlin is, yeah. The Kremlin decided to come all the way back up the north side rather than push through against the Nevsky Yang, which I understand I definitely understand the impetus there, because you don't want to be pushing a Kremlin into deep water torpedoes, but that means that they were without their strongest pushing ship, I want to say, for quite some time. And the best thing that the Kremlin can do now is literally park his big fat nose into the B cap and attempt to deny it. He's going to have two Napolis, a Rag, and a Kremlin, all attempting to dislodge him once that happens. As the Napoli of Manko Pro about to make his last stand, is he going to get anything considerable into these other Napolis? It doesn't look like it. That is so many SAP secondaries.
2-1. Yeah, the Napoli secondaries at close range are not to be underestimated. Clara and Greater Hero are making quick work of Manko.
Here come the Kremlin shells. Bonk. Oh, it looked like an overpen there. But Manko Pro does go down as BCAP is stepped on. A 100-point differential now in the favor of Team Rickroll. As the Shimakaze, is he going to get spotted by the Moskva? No. Shima is now uncontested to take back the BCAP. Is it going to be enough, or is it too little too late? As the Kremlin of Wolfman, not in a position to shoot anything at the moment. Probably waiting for those Napolis to re-engage.
So Mamba is pushing forward with that radar running to try to catch Chukwama's Shima, but doesn't. But of course the Ragnar can go back forward again. Loses in ops, is gradually losing health, trying to stay in cover behind that island.
Yeah. So now, Stats, I'm noticing the timer right now. I'm noticing that as it currently stands, Team BOGGZ wins in 1 minute 51 seconds, while Team Stats wins in 1 minute 59. So it's going to be very, very close. It could come down literally to who loses the next ship, and it could be the Kremlin of loses in ops. It could be the Nevsky of One Soul Gamer. It's going to be very, very close here.
Oh, Ragnar radars. Chukwama is caught. 9,000 health.
Lots of guns on him.
Yep. But the Nevsky is obviously shooting at Manticore as well. Ragnar is quite a big destroyer. Loses an ops, making a push here. That means they have to move. He's trying to... I think he's trying to like keep the island between him and Wolfman.
Oh, he's down to 2,000. Are they going to get him? 190.
Radars down.
Oh, they get him.
They get him.
They get him.
981 points.
Has to kill the Kremlin. The Kremlin must die. Oh no, I'm seeing shots go out on the Ragnar. The Ragnar does not matter, guys. You have to kill the Krem. You can always send your own Krem to step on the cap. You have to kill the loses in ops.
I think
4,000 HP. 5
your call has corrected the aiming.
They're still shooting at the 999. First game going to Team Rickroll.
Congrats. I did say I was never going to make you cry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to. Team Rickroll takes the first game.
I knew the rules.
Yeah, so did I, and so did the teams.
I'm saying it backwards. Yeah, I'm saying it backwards. I gotta change it. Well, because it's like it doesn't make any sense for me to say, "Well, Stats, you knew the rules." It only sounds that way if I win, then I can say that.
Okay, so the next map will be north. So we'll just let the teams reset in the background here. Now let me tell you the story.
Okay.
So I was preparing, to do my picks and stuff for the team leader. And I was looking through pool 1, pool 2. I was like, I think I want a pool 1 or a pool 2 team leader.
Okay.
And so I was looking through all the bios. And I know quite a lot of the players, so I was looking through who do I want to have this time. There's a couple of them I've had before. I was thinking, do I want to maybe have the same team leader again? I was thinking, no, maybe I'll go for someone new. And so I was looking through the bios, and I'd chosen someone. And then I looked at Mickey's bio, and Mickey's bio says something like, I really want to be a team leader, and I've made a video. I've recorded a video explaining why I want to be a team leader. I was like, wow, that's really cool. I did something similar when I applied to the CC program. I made a video and submitted it, and I was quite impressed by that. So I went and followed the link to go and watch Miki's application video, and got massively rickrolled. And it wasn't even a disguised link. It was like the classic link that has the ending that everyone should know.
The OG link.
Yeah, and so that's how Team Rick was born, because I got rickrolled, and so Mickey is the team leader.
That's beautiful.
And we're Team Rick.
That's beautiful. I was looking through the list of team leaders, and I saw, of course, my old podcast co-host and former clan leader Synpax, and I thought, well, if we do this, we're going to have to call it Get to Know. We're going to have to call it Team Get to Know a Team League Team. I thought that might not roll off the tongue quite so well, so
no.
Yeah, so I went with something a little simpler, just Team BOGGZ, of course, but I was pretty excited to do Team Get to Know a Team League team.
So what would that acronym be? Yeah,
T
GTK
TK.
ATLT.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that
you know,
doesn't really no.
while it rolls off the tongue nicely, I thought it might not fit in the 5 character limit for a clan, or for a clan suffix or prefix. So it's
Yeah.
Boggzy.
So we will be going into this next game 1-0 up for Team Rick, but obviously Team Boggzy can still equalize on North.
Yep.
This is a very different map.
Very different.
The interesting thing about this is obviously the cap layouts are different, but also having 7 players instead of 9 players, like you would have in another tournament like King of the Sea, means that there's obviously fewer players to spread across the map, and
Certainly.
it does change the tactics a little bit because you can't cover as much of the map with radar. You can't get the same kind of cross shots necessarily. Initial deployment is much more important.
What's fascinating too, because this was a clan battle map as well. What's fascinating is just how powerful the 9 line is on this map. French destroyers, Kremlin, and Napoli are so powerful on this map because the French destroyers allow you to really threaten the contested cap. I think it'd be C cap on this one. You can go around the back on the 8-9 island chain. You can go around the back. You can threaten it from there. You can rush 2. If you're really ballsy, you can rush 2 right towards the center. You can attempt to snipe any DD that tries to fast cap C, and then with you can push up around the 9-10 line very, very easily with only a couple specific ships, while kiting away almost endlessly on your safe cap with a Napoli and I don't know, maybe a Nevsky, or in clan battles we had a Napoli Ohio flanking on that side, and they could just run forever. But
I think the other challenge that this map presents is vision. So if you have a pushing, and you can tell a little bit from the composition when you see the other team's composition, but I think if if one of the teams takes a fast pushing force of 4 or 5 ships, you're not necessarily going to know which flank those ships are on until you actually see them right in front of you.
It's true, and it can be sometimes too late to actually do much about that.
And so your plan has to include reacting to it being not the side you thought it was going to be.
Yes,
because,
very much so.
Like the last map, you can push the home cap, or you can push the contested cap. So yeah, you have to be ready. One of your players has just readied up in an Austin in the middle. Now, players sometimes do this. Some players sometimes do this to troll, but sometimes it's a genuine mistake. So I don't know whether Samo is actually planning on taking an Austin. Well, we have seen Austins used. We saw an Austin used in King of the Sea on this map actually.
Did we?
On EU we did. Yeah. On
how did it go
one.
for that team?
Not well. I think actually that's not true. I think the team won, but the Austin didn't actually do anything.
I see.
It just covered a battleship in bits of metal, and that was it. Really.
I will say that I think one of the coolest things I saw in all of King of the Sea 13 was in, I think maybe the second to last match of King of the Sea 13 Internationals, when TWA banned CV, I think they're known as PTA now, Penta, they legitimately, unironically brought a Colbert onto northern waters, and they parked the Colbert at that island at E1, and they made extremely good use of it, and we were all floored. We were in Prague, sitting in the casting room at Wargaming EU, going, "This is a joke, right? Like they're trying to throw this one." Nope, used it to great effect. I was delighted to see it.
Yeah, I love it when you see things like that. The tournaments can, especially when you've got the last stages of a tournament where it's all very experienced teams, their compositions are obviously, and the same thing happens in clan battles like Typhoon and Hurricane. The compositions are designed to counter each other, and so you end up with all the teams with the same composition ultimately. And then occasionally there'll be that one team that just goes, "Hey, we're just going to do something different, and you're going to have to deal with it." And I love that. It's just fantastic.
You know what's funny is that was I don't know how familiar your EU is with Gaishu, but Gaishu is
Hmm.
he's a pretty well-known figure in NA, and one of the best things about Gaishu is that he and his clan, generally speaking, they're liable to do just about anything. Like you just don't know what exactly they're going to do, and they're good enough that they can get away with it in almost all circumstances. So I like to think of them. I like to think of Gaishu's team and O7 as the right and the left brain of NA, in the sense that one is creative and unpredictable and chaotic, one is extremely orderly and extremely consistent.
Hmm.
And watching the two of them go at each other is just a delight because it makes for a great, it
Yeah.
makes for a really, really fun matchup.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing when we. I think it's kind of standardized a little bit more now, but the old server clashes, like when we used to do the EU finals, before we put all the four regions together, and we'd have like
Yeah.
EU versus CIS or whatever. Those are always really exciting because the metas are very, very different.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go.
game two.
This is not inverted. This is still the first match scene. Okay, great.
Yeah, I
Look
think
at
today I
that.
think Team A is always on top.
I see. Well, I see a distinct lack of submarines on Team Boggzy champ. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Do you want to go through your lineup?
I would love to. You'll notice there are no submarines on Team Boggzy champ's
Yeah.
lineup, partly because they're not allowed in this format. They're also not in the game right now. But there's also no destroyers. They
No.
took a full cruiser line with one Kremlin. I think this is as close to Soviet steel wall as you can get, while still maintaining a Goliath and a Napoli. So let's see if they just move ever forward as the Iron Curtain.
So on my team, a little bit more standard. We've got Kremlin, Salem, double Moskva this time with a Nevsky and a Ragnar. So we've got 4 radars. No, sorry, 5 radars with the Salem, assuming it has the radar. And then also Yu Yang, which I'm assuming is again smoke because he's actually I can tell now because I've got this consumable that tells me that he's a smoke unit. Oh, I can't tell you how amazing this is.
I am jealous.
I highly recommend it.
So it looks to me as though Team Boggz is going to be making a safe push using these great big cruisers and a Kremlin to go straight from A to B. The question is, how far out will their Napoli go? Out onto the flank outside of A? And how aggressive will they be at denying C-cap? Because I think, knowing that there's no DD from Team Boggz, Team Rickroll, Mantis Core, is going to walk right into C and attempt to stake it for his own. We'll have to see. Oh, shots already incoming against Samo's Moskva. Oh, Samo!
So the thing is, your team has a massive health advantage. My team has a massive spotting advantage and torping advantage. So it's going to come down to, on my team, it's going to come down to the big hitters getting the big hits when it counts. So the Kremlin hitting the broadsides and probably staying mid to get the cross shots as your cruisers go diagonally across the map. There you go, case in point, Samo's just been chunked a bit. Whereas your team needs to make sure that they're bringing the radars to bear, trying to kill the destroyers when they're spotted, and trying not to get torped.
It makes me so nervous how far up Samo is in attempting to take this cap. I think that if he was going to go bow into the A cap like that, he sort of needed to actually take the island there. But instead, just taking a lot of chip damage and being forced away while the Kremlin gets in position. Looks like C has not been taken yet. One Soul Gamer attempting to actually stay a little far back here. I'm kind of surprised why he's not up there. Looks like he's moving into position to contest the Rag. Goliath, Stalingrad out on the flank against the Moskva and Salem from Team Rickroll. The big question is just going to be, will this ball of steel up at ACAP, will they be able to make a play here soon, or are they just going to get farmed down in their own cap?
So they're going to have to turn south, obviously, and then Rocket Masters, deep water torpedoes are going to be there. You've got the Kremlin of losers in the middle, who's going to be on their broadside. It's going to be interesting to see what my team, which is being called by Mickey in the Nevsky, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the Kremlin. I personally, I think they need to keep it south of those islands, not push towards sea, so they can get the cross shots on Samo and Chukwama and Simpex.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. Already, the steel wall, the steel ball, is attempting to make its southern turn. They're putting the Napoli out wide, which is wise. Kremlin and Moskva look like they're going to flank the different sides of the island at E3. And then the Stalingrad of Synpax, he's just sort of backing his way in there. That's an interesting choice. Is he going to take deep water torpedoes? No, they are too wide. I think he's just attempting to prevent Black Mamba's Moskva or the Kremlin of loses and ops from actually making a push around. This is interesting. They've been able to avoid the Ragnar capping C. I think Mantis Core may get it this time. I don't know if the Stalingrad is in range. Can you tell? Do you have the mod that shows the range of radar?
I don't have that map installed, no.
Okay.
It's a little bit.
We'll see here.
It's a little bit busy.
It is a little busy, yeah. We'll see if Manco Pro's Stalingrad. Yes, there it goes. Looks like, is he going to be able to see Mantis Core? Believe so. One Soul Gamer probably going to open up. Yes, out of the cap he goes. So this strategy may have legs. Assuming Wolfman, I think Wolfman needs to pull in. He's pulling out. Oh no, this is terrible. I think this is not where he wants to be. He's going to be under the guns of that Yu Yang's torpedoes and the Nevsky's guns this whole time. I think he may have wanted to go down through the channel to avoid those torpedoes. We'll have to see.
I just need to say thank you for a big raid. Thank you very much to Happy Chef TV for the raid. Appreciate that. There is a delay currently going on. We are casting a tournament. Apologies, this is not a normal stream. Right, back to the casting. So sorry, I had to. So that's a channel which I am very, very much liking at the moment. So thank you very much for the raid. Okay, so your team is. Both teams are really spread out, actually.
Yeah, but look at these torpedoes coming in from Rocket Master onto Wolfman.
See, this is the problem. Like, if you're up against destroyers and you don't have destroyers to counter their destroyers,
yeah,
the destroyers can just run rampant and do whatever they like, pretty much.
This is exactly what's going to happen. I think Wolfman's taking 2 here, maybe 1, but
yeah,
even 1 is so much damage.
It is. These really, really hurt. They're also very low detection, so they're very hard to dodge if you're actually moving.
2 down.
Okay, so Wolf DCP's that flood.
Yeah. So C-Cap taken by Team Rickroll. This is going to be big because there's really, without DDs, Team BOGGZ really has no ability to recontest these caps without just parking on them and basically saying, out-trade us. Which, again, against this many cruisers, very, very difficult to out-trade that many high-velocity cruisers. But it's not impossible.
No, and as you say, like the only way they can really get it back now is to win, essentially, win that flank, just go and park in the cap, at which point that flank is over.
Yep.
So it's really hard to see now what they're going to do, because if you look at the other end, if you put yourself in, who's your caller? Synpax.
Synpax is the caller, yes.
So put yourself in Synpax's shoes right now. So, you're looking at the minimap and you're thinking, okay, the C cap is kind of tricky. That's going to take a while. So maybe we try and make something work on the B flank. Yeah. But, like, where? Because losers and ops is really healthy.
It's true. The problem is that the one thing I think that can happen here is that the Stalingrad of Manco Pro and the Moskva of One Soul Gamer and the Goliath, they have to get aggressive. They have to focus down this Moskva of, is it Plukbear? I'm not sure how to pronounce that name.
Yeah, I think so. Plukbear, yeah.
Synpax is going to get farmed down here. He's bow in against a Moskva, and he's gonna lose that DPM fight, I'm afraid. So the Moskva over here from Team Rickroll has to go down so that the Stalingrad of Manco Pro can get into the cap and start denying those points. It's just taking a long time. He has DCP'd. We'll have to see. The HE shells from the Stalingrad, I believe, can actually pen the deck of the Moskva. So this could be, 437. He's on fire. His DPP is down. He goes.
So all that time, obviously, the points have been ticking. So we've got a little bit of a lead. It's not a huge lead, but we do have a little bit of a lead for Team Rick. Now, Mamba just got chunked there. I didn't see where those shells came from. I'm assuming that was Synpax.
Could very well Mamba, be. Oh, yes, down. That.
Yeah, Mamba giving a little bit too much angle there to Synpax.
And Manco Pro, if his guns were looking, could actually hit Black Mamba very, very easily, but his guns are facing the wrong way. He was completely broadside.
I think they're focused over here on trying to take down Grota. Because obviously, if you can focus fire a Salem and you can chunk it down before it can use its heal, that neutralizes the strength of the Salem, essentially.
Very much. Black Mamba looking to go down in the center, and down he goes. This is huge. The DPM is now significantly in the favor of Team BOGGZ as Oxymoron's Goliath gonna walk into the C-cap, and nothing can stop him now. The Kremlin of Wolfman has just been absolutely shellacked as he tries to, I guess, just be a battering ram going forward and pushing the Nevsky Kremlin and Yu Yang away. He will go down here, and I don't see anything actually able to take the B-cap except maybe the Moskva. I think it's completely C-cap and eastern flank for Team Boggzy this time.
Yeah, indeed.
So
we've also got nearly half the health that your team has. And Stalingrad goes down. Okay, that evens up the ships a
Kremlin
little
about
bit.
to go down as well.
But, oh man, if you draw a line between the two teams on the minimap, your map control is considerably more.
It's true. The big question will be, can Team BOGGZ basically take 3 caps, sit on them, and then hold them long enough for Team Rickroll to have to come back and retake these caps, or will they just basically kill everybody? Samo taking damage now too. Moskva completely stuck there. He will die eventually under the sustained fire of Yu Yang, Nevsky, and Kremlin. I don't see who they're going to get on the western flank. There's just been no damage applied over there at all, probably because they can't see anything. They can only see a Kremlin, and Kremlins don't die.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they are going to run. My team are going to run out of map eventually, and of course,
yes, they will.
The further away they get, the more difficult it is to keep Samo reset.
Yep.
But the Kremlin has the ability to just sit there and keep resetting Samo.
He certainly does. I don't see much happening
get the cap.
I don't think much going to happen on the eastern flank over here. The next one to die is either going to be the Kremlin of Losers and Ops or Samo's Moskva. I suspect Samo's Moskva will go down first. We'll have to see. Again, Team BOGGZ splitting its fire. They need to be focusing. They need to focus just this Kremlin right now. As let's see, I'm not sure where Chukwama is shooting. It appears he is shooting the Kremlin. Good. It may be the Kremlin that goes down first. We'll just have to see. Both very tanky from the front.
Yeah, Losers, I think, is going to go down. Stalingrad of Simpax is pushing down to help with that chunking. And once Losers goes down, that's going to... Let's just see where the points end up here. Oh, Samo!
Samo! Wow, look at that, both of them at the same time. That's
trade.
Amazing. Synpax going to have to step on the B-cap now. Yep. I think at this point, he can do so safely, as there's really nothing to stop him. The big question is, will Chukwama overextend, or will he be smart and make a turn? There goes his smoke. I don't know if the Nevsky of Mickey has Mizky already used his radar.
The other problem with a Napoli at this kind of range is it's quite high caliber, and so it has a very large smoke bloom.
And he's still firing.
Yeah, so that smoke is actually, all it's doing is blinding Chukwama.
Yeah,
so
it's doing him zero good right now.
It's actually negative because Rocket Master is able to run ahead of his smoke and keep firing without getting spotted.
I believe that Synpax is a little too... Okay, there come the shots at about 20 kilometers from the Stalingrad into the Nevsky. Let's see if Synpax can connect here. That's such a long shot, and he was on the border. Very nice shot from Synpax.
Stalingrad has very flat arcs. It's very easy to aim at range, and those shells hit really, really hard. Improve pen angles as well.
Look at that. If you look at C-Cap, we're about to see something very aggressive happening here as well.
The classic tournament situation where there's things happening at both ends. Mantiscore goes down for Rick.
Rocket Master at 493. Oh, down he goes.
Trades with Chukwama.
They get the Napoli. I don't think that's going to make a difference at this point.
Synpax is on the cap. They have capped. That's 36 seconds for a Boggzy win.
Can the Salem kill the Goliath? It's very possible. The Salem's advanced pen angles can take out a Goliath and citadel it if the Goliath is not careful. At this point, Oxymoron, there it goes.
Lovely blind shot there from Synpax.
Was it blind? I missed
that. That was a blind shot. Absolutely, yep. That was absolutely a blind shot.
Congratulations, Synpax, on several very good long-range shots with Stalingrad there.
Absolutely. Wow, that's very exciting.
It is exciting. I like it when. Do like it when things can progress a little further. So, game 3. I'm interested to see what they. I'm interested to see what happens next. Steel wall. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. because on day one, none of the teams get knocked out. All that today does is determine the brackets for tomorrow. I know that there are some teams who are thinking, well, it doesn't matter. We can just have a muck around, right? We can just have some fun. And so I think there are some meme comps being played today. So I think, I can't remember which team it is. I think one of the teams is running a UK only comp.
Oh, really?
Or AP only or something like that. Yeah.
Better not be Painzor.
I can't remember who it was. Someone did tell me.
If it's Painzor, I'm taking his Belfast away. Isn't there a team literally called Team Take Painzor's Belfast Away?
Yeah,
I feel
something like that.
is.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Bless.
So someone's asking in my chat, what's the consumable that I'm using to show the consumables? Sorry, what's the mod that I'm using to show the consumables? It's available in the Aslane mod pack. It's not yet in the official mod station because they tend to take a little bit longer to put things in.
We're going to have to fix that.
It's called Consumables Monitor, and it's in the over target markers section at the top. So give it a go. It does work in random battles as well, but it only works for friendly ships, unless you are a spectator. Yes.
Makes sense.
Because otherwise it would be completely unfair. But seriously, like playing random battles and looking over at your friendly radar cruiser that you're playing next to, and being able to see whether its radar is available, for example, is really, really handy.
Yes, for sure. That would. It's just one of those things where, in like a competitive sense, it just saves you time. It optimizes you, and it allows your caller to plan things like down to the second much easier. Having called a whole bunch of battles in this last season, I can tell you, for a caller, it's invaluable information because it lets you sync up your stuff with better ease. Who calls for throw stats?
So it depends what we're doing. So it's either our clan commander Kath, or it's the second in command Killerbin, who's also a streamer.
Oh, Killerbin! Yes, he's your co-podcaster with you and Painzor. Yeah.
Yes, cool. And did you know? I don't know how closely you followed Team League in the past. There is this thing that happens where the winner of Team League always becomes a CC. It's just true. The winner of each of the 3 team leagues that we've had already, or no, I know this is season 3, but there was a pilot season, which was season 0. The winner of the first 3, all of them almost immediately became a CC just afterwards. And so we have to let Killerbin win so that he can become a CC.
Is that right?
That's yep. Because he's the I'm not sure if he's the only person casting who would be in the running, but certainly, he would.
I don't know if you know
like
stats, but what's that? I'm no longer a CC. So if I were to win, would I be able to become a CC again?
No, you have to quit. So if you win, you lose your job, and then you can.
My health insurance.
Yeah, exactly. It's preordained.
I don't want this. I want my health insurance.
No, so we're all secretly rooting for Killerman.
I will secretly also root for Killerman while I'm not, creating voodoo dolls to keep him from winning because I'd like. But this may sound strange to you. I've actually never spoken to or been in a chat room with the Sailing Robin.
Really?
Sailing Robin.
He's a lovely guy. He's lovely.
He's like this mythical figure to me. To me, I think of him as the EU Gaishu, just that guy that everybody sort of knows his name, but no one talks to him.
Because he's been in wargaming for so long now. I'm not sure that players who've started playing recently know him as a player in that sense. They probably know him as a wargaming employee, but obviously the older player base, particularly competitive, will know him as like one of the best Des Moines players in the world.
Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he is just so impressive playing Des Moines. And he's done occasionally, actually on the official stream, he's actually on the official channel, he's actually done Des Moines sort of masterclass tutorial type streams. Really, really worth looking out for. I think he's still got content on YouTube as well. That's worth watching if you're looking to play Des Moines. because the ship hasn't changed that much over the years. So
it's pretty. It's got a pretty straightforward play style, which is as long as people don't overmatch your deck, sit there and out DPM them.
Watch your sides, point nose at enemy, kill everything. It's pretty much it.
Yeah, kill everything. Rinse, repeat.
Exactly. Right, I'm just looking at the Team League. The tournament website, just to see what's going on with the rest of the matches. So currently, so Penguin. Spoiler alert, Penguin has beaten Zath 2-0.
Zath. F in the chat.
So I think you're going up against, after this match, our final 1v1, 1-1, you're going up against Pingu, and I'm going up against Zath.
Very nice.
Let's have a look at the other groups.
UOCat's team, Who Loves Cats, they beat Robin's team, Des Moines Appreciators, 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Chrysantos Left Hand Enjoyers.
Yes.
Clan Touch has beaten TC Freer's The Muppet Show 2-0. Oh no, Killer Bin.
Oh no. Well, it doesn't. Don't forget, it doesn't matter today. It doesn't matter.
Of course.
If you can lose everything today and you can still win, it's fine. So they're just getting their losses out of the system, maybe. So what was?
Well, it could be. If Killer Bin doesn't win, of course, the whole thing. I can always turn the thumb screws on Seraphice a little bit and say, "Excuse me. There's this gentleman. He's on a podcast. He's a streamer."
Oh yeah. So Killer Bin's team 2-0 loss against Farah, who is another name that older competitive players will know very well.
Talk to me about Farah.
So Farah is a bit of a legend. So Farah, when I started playing, was one of the main content creators for World of Warships alongside people like Flammo and Flambas, iChase and Notza. And he was renowned for being one of the world's best RTS carrier players, alongside Fem. And and unfortunately, obviously, when the RTS carrier change happened, he kind of lost his toy essentially, which was a shame. And he was heavily involved in that whole time, and so it's very sad that we don't get to see him do that anymore. But he's still around the community. Farah Zelef.
Yeah, he was just in our voice channel as we were.
Hey, that really confused me then.
What's that? Hello, Zach.
I was like,
hello.
Boggzy sounds different. What's going on?
Boggzy just took some helium there.
Thank you.
I was like, what? And then I realized it was you. Hello. How you doing?
Hello. So I guess I'm facing you next.
You are. We've got actually. Do you want to? Have you got a match to cast?
No, we're waiting.
Do you
want to
join us? Hang on, wait. Let me tell them to wait. If you want to join us, Zath, you're very welcome to come and find this room. It's
Are you doing a game 3 or something?
Yes, we are, because we're 1-1. Please come and join us.
Oh, I didn't realize there was another game 3. Damn.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Come on in, Zath. The water's warm. This is the Boggzy Stats hot tub that you're enjoying here. We're gonna the jets are the smooth sounds of StatsBloke.
Oh, do they? Oh, they just started. Are you in, Zath? Oh, you are.
Yeah, he's in.
Cool.
So it's BOGGZ versus Rickrolled.
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Sleeping Giant. 1-1.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay. Same match setup. Now this is Sleeping Giant, and yes, there are the French destroyers. Zath, would you like to make a bet on how many fatalities occur in the ACAP? How many French soldiers are going to die in the ACAP?
In the Thunderdome?
In Thunderdome.
4. So let's do this. Let's say there will be 4 destroyers, 1 cruiser, and 1 battleship that will die there.
God. If a Kremlin... Oh, look at that. Team BOGGZ bringing a Burgone for the extra HE slapping power. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just...
Your team's gone from Iron Curtain to quite cosmopolitan European.
I know, it's literally gone to mainland
Italian,
Europe.
French. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and list out here Synpax bringing the Burgone. Very nice against Destroyers. Chukwama in a Napoli alongside Manco Pro in his Napoli. Oxymoron from '07 bringing the Stalingrad. Wolfman, One Soul Gamer, and Samo all in French Destroyers. And there they go. They are headed right for Thunderdome. Will they go inside or outside? Stats, what's your team look?
So we've got, I would say, a tankier looking team. We've got a little bit more health, about 30,000 more health. We've got Kremlin, Napoli, Double Moscow, Kleber, Marceau, and Ragnar. Both teams going with 3 destroyers. My concern for your team, because of course I'm never going to give you up, is that your Bourgogne is quite squishy.
The Burgone is quite squishy.
It's quite squishy. And so if my team can get enough focus fire on it, that could go quite badly for Synpax. But on this map, getting a lot of focus fire onto that Bourgogne is going to be kind of tricky, because Synpax can go all the way over to the flank, which of course is what you would do with the Bourgogne. You're never going to stick this thing in the middle.
No, indeed.
And also our Kremlin is going the other way. So
yes, so there's a distinct, to me, I see a push coming in, a safe to safe push from your team. I'm very concerned for the health of Mantis Core over here, as he is about to run into 3 French TDs plus a Bourgogne. That's so much concentrated firepower.
And and in that position, you have to make it. Okay, then he's actually, Mickey and Mantis Core are actually being quite cautious here with the way they're approaching the cap, which is nice. Because if you push in aggressively, you have to make a sudden decision. Do I turn into the cap, or do I run away and kite?
Yeah. Oh, there goes the radar. All right, Stats. Your team knew the rules, and so did mine. And here comes Synpax firing AP from the Bourgogne. Oh, he must not have thought he was going to run into a DD. But oh my gosh, shots from the Stalingrad coming across the map. Look at this. They are out trading Team BOGGZ so well. The Kleber of Mickey is. This is absolutely incredible work by Mickey.
That was fantastic, Team Rick. Well done. Okay, Mickey's going to pay for it now. Mickey's going to pay for it.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think he's getting away scot-free. That is just astounding. Well played, Mickey. I have to just, I have to say. However, it does look like Team BOGGZ is going to take the A cap. The question is, can they hold it?
At what cost?
Yeah. They lost a Marceau for this. Is that going to be too much is the big question. Wow. That was... I'm just blown away by Mickey's ability in that Kleber to shirk off that damage. He rickrolled Team BOGGZ here all by himself, I'm afraid.
Just a little note from my viewers. I've just noticed that my detection indicator isn't working for the red team for some reason. I'll check that setting for the next game. Just to note that the red team, if they're spotted, don't have an exclamation mark.
Sure. I want to take a moment also to acknowledge a raid that I just got from Admiral Raven. Thank you, Raven. I know you said it's 3 a.m. In Australian time, so go to bed. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone, to Team League Season 3. I'm joined by, right now, StatsBloke from EU and... I almost said Sea Raptor, but Lord Zaff from NA. I'm sorry. You guys are like a pair to me. As Team BOGGZ against Team Rickroll here on Sleeping Giant.
Yep. I just noticed the same thing, Stats. I have to go do a co-op after this, I guess.
Yeah, I did check it, but I actually did do that. I actually went in and checked it, but I obviously did something wrong somewhere. Never mind. Okay, so your 2 French destroyers in the ACAP are kind of surrounded right now. They've got the Kremlin coming up the mid, although Oxymoron is going to get...
It might be.
Yeah.
Samo's putting himself in a very dangerous position right now. There are at least 3 ships that can shoot at Samo.
Oh, at that kind of range, you do not want a Kremlin shooting at you. Ooh.
No, you don't. There's 5,000... Loses an Ops very wisely had HE loaded because he knew he was going to be slapping a DD. But here's the thing. Loses an Ops now, about to be broadside to Oxymoron Stalingrad. Here come the AP shells, and boom!
Bang.
There's 15k off.
Yep.
And the Napoli as well. Oh.
Misses. No, takes 1 torp as well. I think that was a Marceau torp, so it didn't do too much damage.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of Samo's.
Very, very interesting to see how this is going to go here. Synpax has the broadside with the Bourgogne. AP incoming. There's another. I don't know if that was a Citadel or not. I don't think so. I think that was just a couple of pens, but
Looked like it.
Simpax
Samo
running.
living for now.
I can see that Simpax is running Reload Booster to try and get that nice second
Samo
volley
may
in.
go down here. He's trading with another Marceau. I think Samo dies
Yep.
in the cap here. Oh, what a
Yep.
shame. I think this was completely avoidable. It didn't have to happen. Not like this. Not like
Not
this.
like this.
Right.
Greuter is potentially... I don't know. So Mickey doesn't have the health to go in. Manticore kind of does. But
The
Manticore's
thing is,
got to turn
if
around.
Mickey gets caught by the Kleber, Simpax can absolutely slap him down. The question is Greuter. Greuter?
Greuter, I think.
Reuter. It sounds like
Reuters, the news agency, I suppose.
that sounds like a disease that people in the 1800s got.
It does a little bit.
He's got the
He died of Greuter.
Yeah.
Sorry, Greuter. We apologize.
I know. We lost our third to the Greuter.
Oh dear.
Some person who's constantly dusty dies of the Greuter.
I'm gonna get a DM. I'm gonna get a DM from Greuter now. That's my actual name.
I'm sorry, Greuter.
Yeah, and thanks, Boggzy, by the way. Everybody is now saying that I am Lord Raptor or
Lord
Sam
Raptor. Lord Raptor of South.
You guys are unbeatable
Inseparable.
in my book. So inseparable, but unbeatable as well. I think that Team Rickroll here has got the ACAPS number. I think that Team BOGGZ was a little too liberal in their giving up HP on their DDs, as Mantis Core and Greuter, God bless, are going to push him out and very likely sink Wolfman.
Okay, Greuter's going to have to do a little bit of dodging here. I think there's going to be one clever talk into Greuter as Wolfman goes down.
Greuter's going to
closely
need to
you got
visit
the
the
island.
apothecary and talk to the chemist.
Your team has pushed Manco Pro into a kind of interesting position here. Sorry, I
Yeah,
was
the
getting
island.
So Manco is Manco's got Clara on the broadside, but Clara is being chased by Chukwama's Napoli.
He's also got Ops on broadside if he comes around the corner. but I don't
Yeah,
think he's going to.
The Kremlin needs to be a little bit careful because of where Simpax's Burgoyne is. Because I think losers would love to go around on the Napoli, but with Simpax there, that's not an option.
Yeah, I think that Chukwama taking a big
just saw
hit
that.
from the Kremlin. I think that
wow, okay.
Team BOGGZ has met its match today, but has done a fine job of making sure they take it to a game 3. I think losing that Marceau on the entryway to ACAP was probably fatal.
Mm-hmm. Just a reminder, the day is not over.
No, and as Stats was pointing out earlier, nobody gets knocked out during today.
Correct.
This just determines where people get set up for tomorrow.
Correct.
Yeah,
and
so
how many
the-
codes we get to give away.
That
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Do we get more codes to give away based off of the wins or based off of max?
So we, as far as I understand it, we will get 5 codes for every series win. So whichever one of us wins this series right here, we'll get 5 codes to give to our mods to do stuff with.
You guys have mods?
I've got
Yes.
Puddin hanging out right now. He's awesome.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I have a
giving away
team.
some good stuff.
Well, I have a slightly depleted team of mods because one of my mods is actually playing in the tournament because
very nice.
TC Freya nicked him. So,
One of my viewers, Kira Main, has pointed out that a goiter is a disease that comes from an iodine deficiency. And is not that common these days, and that is very likely where my childish sense of humor went. So very sorry, Greuter.
So check your iodine and check it often.
Guys, you have to check your iodine. I realized, iodine is the iodine deficiency is the leading cause of death in dusty people. Okay, so
Dusty people.
dusty
Okay.
18th century people. So take it seriously, would you?
So was the 18th century quite dusty then?
Oh, Manco making the inky, but it's not going to work.
No.
I think
once
I should
again,
point out
it's
that
that.
my boss just stepped into the chat as well and said that heard if you win, you're going back to being a CC.
Oh,
That's how it works. That's how it works.
stage right there.
Yeah, for Zath's chat, I don't know whether you realize that, but every single winner of Team League so far has immediately become a CC.
Yeah, that's what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah. That's been the joke.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if one of the wargaming, so there's 4 wargaming streams. If one of them wins, then they immediately lose their job and become a CC.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, well, that Blood Minister was pretty close to that last season, wasn't he?
I mean,
He was. Yeah, he came second. Yep.
Blood Minister's not a CC, right? Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Blood Minister. I get
Blood Minister.
Blood
Yeah,
Minister
he's your.
I was thinking of Blood Legend. I'm sorry.
He's your. I forget which country it is, but he's your. He's one of your European community managers. Yeah, Polish.
He's the Polish community manager. Yes, I always get Blood Minister and Blood Legend mixed up.
Have you not seen him at all the parties or something? I mean, geez.
I met him when I went to Prague for COTS 13. COTS Internationals.
Cool.
Did he touch you on the shoulder?
You know what? I don't think any of the EU guys wanted to touch somebody who's comparatively so small because they're all really tall guys in the EU office. It was actually shocking for me when I walked in, and Conway is a full 3 to 4 inches taller than me. Yabako is taller than me. Yeah, like they're all taller than me. And I'm not like 5'10's not super short, so.
Oh wow! If I went, I've never been there, but if I went there, I would be a tiny person because I'm 5'7".
Painzor and I hung out, and that made me feel better because we're
he's about the same height as you, I think. Yeah.